Hello and welcome to the Big Ideas Show. I am Batchelor and I am joined by Pip Lawrence from DayOne Wellness. Hello.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here today, and you are here to talk about our theme, aren't you, of how can we use sport as a tool for wellbeing community cohesion.
Yes.
Can you tell me a little bit about your project, what we're going to be talking about?
Yeah, sure. So I run DayOne Wellness, which is a company that focuses on simplifying sustainable wellbeing. And we have really three key things that we focus on, and that's real food, outdoor movement, and community support. So they kind of tie in nicely with today's theme.
Definitely. Okay, we're going to be hearing more about that after these titles. Thank you very much for tuning in to the Big Ideas Show. This is the show all about raising awareness for great projects that are going on kind of both locally and on a wider field. But none of this would be possible if it wasn't for our contributors that have been supporting us, our sponsors, and of course our venue for today, which is the Folkestone Courthouse. Our theme is how can we use sport and physical activity as a tool both for individual well-being and mental health and also for community cohesion. And Pip Lawrence from DayOne Wellness, your project wraps all of that up, doesn't it, in one?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, sure. So we started delivering, we call it the Recalibrate Wellbeing Program. And that's a 12-step framework that helps people to make sustainable changes. And we really focus on three things, and that's getting them outside and doing some physical activity in a setting that makes it so then it's not too competitive. It's not like your HIIT training, anything like that. It's much more fun and all abilities. We focus on like educating and empowering people with like nutrition and lifestyle talks, and just getting them doing the basics like drinking lovely water and you know, really simple things that then people can do every day. And then we have behavioural change coaching, so all of our expert coaches really focus on helping people make those habits sustainable. So it's not like a 12-week program and then I've fallen off the wagon again. It's like, okay, well, how can I make those changes and just make that a part of my lifestyle?
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's a really important thing, and that idea of the holistic approach of all of these different elements. Was that something that was there from the start, or did you start maybe doing one area and then realising actually we need to bring everything in to make it, like I said, sustainable?
Yeah, so when I very first started my career, I started as a personal trainer. But when I started DayOne Wellness, it was really from like lots of experiences throughout my career that then led me kind of down that path of making it more holistic. Yeah. So I went travelling for about 18 months when I kind of got bored of personal training and thought, oh, there's got to be more to just fitness. And I travelled all over Asia with my other half, all through into New Zealand and things. And all of the communities that I met, the three things that they had in common that were the communities that were the happiest and healthiest ones, which on paper they shouldn't have been, because you know they didn't have the material objects that our friends had at home and you know the nice car and the fancy house and things. But the three things they all did was that they ate real food, which was generally meters away from them rather than you know flying 100 million air miles away from them. They all moved outdoors and just as a part of their regular day. You know they were either cycling to work or you know they were working in the paddy fields, or so they had that exposure to being outside and being active. But then they also had a really strong sense of belonging. So they had that community connection. When I flew home, like with my other half, we were talking with friends and things, and the ones that weren't happy or healthy, they were doing the complete opposite. They weren't eating real food. It was always food for convenience. You know, they haven't got the time and things. They were going from their car to their house to their work. You know, it was that cycle that then they didn't see any sunlight at all. And even when we went round for dinner, they were then on their phones. They seemed to have lost that, like just connecting with someone and being present. So I was like, okay, well, there's got to be something in this. And I then started working on a childhood obesity scheme that was really closely working with a dietitian and a psychologist. And it was really putting that together that kind of evolved DayOne, and I brought all of my knowledge from like the private gym sector, combined it with the public health and a little bit from the travel experience, and kind of developed the Recalibrate Wellbeing Program, which we now deliver to individuals in organisations, and most recently have been funded to do a community project. So so that's kind of where that then ties in as well.
So can you tell us a little bit more about the community project then, I guess, to hear how this works in reality? Like, what are some of the things that people will be doing that may be outside of, okay, they may go, well, I go to the gym and I eat relatively healthy, but what are kind of some of the things that you do with these groups and on this pilot that people out there might be able to go, oh, okay, yeah, actually that's something I could maybe apply, be it in one of your sessions or just in their general life?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically the pilot program is our whole framework. So they get an hour of some kind of a talk. So we have, across our 12 sessions, we call them the cornerstones. So we have your mindset, how do you think about physical activity, and how do you think about your own well-being as one? Because if you're not prioritising yourself, really that's the key step. Like we have 3 values in the organisation, which is educate yourself first, empower others through your actions and not through your opinions, and then that's how everyone exceeds together. And so it's, if we can get people to prioritise themselves, that's kind of step 1. And then from there, so they have that even nutrition or lifestyle workshop as the first hour, and then the second hour they have the outdoor activity, and then from that they then have a self-awareness task that they have to go home with every week, and then they come back and report back to the group. So really the 3 things that we're using are educating people with the information that they need to know in a real simple way. So it could literally be something as simple as, okay, every morning when you wake up, just drink a glass of water before you do anything else. Then it's bringing in the accountability. So they then are accountable to the coach and then accountable to the rest of the group as well when they come back. And then it is like bringing in that community problem solving, because we always have people go, well, you know, I can't afford to make that recipe or something. And then other people will go, well, have you tried swapping this out for this? Or have you know, so then we don't even end up doing a lot of it. It's, you know, I was in a group not so long ago and they said, well, why don't we try growing our own vegetables? We're doing allotment together. That way we're active, we're outdoors, you know, we're meeting all of the cornerstones and we're making it cheaper to be healthy as well. So it's really amazing the stuff that comes out of the groups.
That's awesome. That's really good. Okay, I want to hear a little bit more about, I guess, kind of what maybe your long-term vision is for this and for people in general, whether they're involved in one of your projects or otherwise. But we're going to have a quick break now and then we'll be back chatting about that more. Thank you very much, and Pip Lawrence, you're joining us today. We've been chatting about kind of, well, all of your projects and the community, the Recalibrate Community Pilot, is that right? Community Pilot.
Yeah, you're along the right
Near enough,
lines.
I got the words just in the wrong order. Okay, so you've been telling us a bit about that. What do you see, let's go kind of big picture, what is your dream for where we'll be as a community and where individuals will be kind of long term? Yeah,
so my dream really is to roll the Recalibrate Wellbeing Programme out across the nation. So then doesn't matter kind of what county you're in, what town you're in, that then you would have access to it in some way. So in April we've got the online version of it launching so that people can go through it that way. We're looking probably to the end of next year to then roll out the coach licence. Then it would mean that a personal trainer who would be your kind of bog standard personal trainer who would go into a gym would go, actually I want to do more of the behavioural change coaching and more of the holistic side of things. They would then be able to be accredited by us to roll out the programme in their own town as well.
Okay, so the idea is to have them, literally every little town can have its own little centre and educating the people who will then be out educating.
Yes, absolutely.
To the next level. So how can people directly, do they get in touch, kind of find you on the website? What's the next step for them?
Yeah, so definitely having a look on our website, which is just www.DayOneWellness.co.uk. And on there is all of the information on the depths of the programmes and how you can get it involved in your organisation, or if you want to do a community funded pilot. So the funded pilot is by Golden Homes, which is a housing organisation. So if it's successful, there's no reason why we then can't roll that model out to other housing associations so that then they can help their tenants as well.
Awesome. Okay, really good. And that's kind of like, I love that scheme, and hopefully you'll get loads of people getting in touch to set them up. But what about people listening right now? What would be kind of maybe your top tips on things that people can do right now, today, or starting tomorrow morning, to help improve their all-round health?
Yeah, absolutely. So probably my 3 best tips are Number one, it kind of goes in line with survival. I think this is a good one. So in survival, it's I think it's 3 minutes with 3 minutes without oxygen, I think it is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna totally mess this up. I know the wellbeing side, not the survival side.
Yeah.
So I think it's 3 minutes without oxygen. So the easiest thing is just put your hand on your chest and your stomach and make sure that you're breathing from your belly.
Yeah.
So that then you're getting that deep breath in.
Okay.
A lot of people completely underestimate this, but actually if you're breathing properly, you calm your nervous system down, you'll sleep better, you'll digest your food better. There's all sorts of things that go along with it. And the second one is to drink water. So before you have any coffee or any food or anything like that first thing in the morning, make sure that you have a glass of water to hydrate yourself, because you're 70% water, so you need to keep it topped up.
So it's not just having water generally, it's having it as the first thing you have before you have any tea or coffee.
Yeah, so the
I might
reason...
need to apply that myself.
Yeah, I mean, the reason that I say this is because it does two things. So one, it puts into the frame of mind that if you're doing that as the very first thing, then you are prioritising your well-being before you do anything else in the day. So it's a bit of like a subliminal message that's tucked in there. But then also, you know, you've been asleep for all of that time, you're dehydrated when you wake up, so it's really important. And then the third one, people really overthink nutrition, but the two things that are essential are eat foods that have got lots of nutrients in, which are generally the brightly coloured ones. So beige foods put to the side and just swap them with the brightly coloured ones. And then get fibre in your diet. Fibre is essential for making sure, like if you do want to lose weight, if you want to be regular, all of these sorts of things. So nutrients and fibre, and then don't worry too much about all of the rest of the confusing marketing and things that are out there.
Really good tips that we can apply right now. I've got one that I've definitely got to have that glass of water before I have a cup of tea in the morning. Pip, thank you very much. One final time, website if people want to find out more or get in touch.
Yeah, just DayOneWellness.co.uk.
Brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. And if you've enjoyed today's show, then there are loads more shows around this topic of sport and well-being and mental health and community, all of the things, on the Big Ideas show throughout January. There'll be loads of them. And I also got to say a big thank you to everyone who has been involved, not only Pip, but also to our contributors. We have Hax from Prisma Broadcast, we have Aaron from 6-2 and Warren from Flourish. They have been helping us put on this wonderful video that you're watching right here now. We have the Glass Whiteboard Company, who have been our long-standing sponsors, so a massive thank you to them. And of course, the Quarter House and the Creative Foundation, who have put us up, they've hosted us in this wonderful venue that we have today. And if you have an idea or a theme that you think we should be discussing, then get in touch. We are looking for big ideas and people and projects who are putting those ideas into action. So get in touch via the social media channels, The Big Ideas Show. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you to our wonderful live audience, and we'll see you soon.